Hi guys, welcome once again. Today I'm going to be looking at the this is an MD-2017, and one of the common problems with these is that the screen actually goes blank, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to get that sort of set, and what you're going to need. You're going to need a few things. You're probably going to need a pair of tweezers, which I've got here. I've got a little set of them. You're going to need probably a pry tool of some description. I'm just using a generic sort of thing. Ideally you could use a de-stuffing tool, which will help you remove the nuts and stuff from the top. However, you can do that with a very fine pair of long nose pliers if you're very careful. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take your pry tool, and you very carefully just stick that underneath and just give it just a gentle little crack until that eventually just comes loose and that just pulls off. But obviously you want to be careful that you don't sort of damage anything. So, and put that sort of somewhere safe. Now in the top here you can see there's a brass castellated type nut. You're going to drop your de-stuffing tool or your pair of pliers on the top and just loosen those off. Okay, and then you're going to need the 2-prong one. That one's actually like a castellated 4-slot nut. The other end is just a double, just one which just drops in there like so. These things make it really easy to do. Okay, so once they're off, it is just a simple case of taking those off and putting them somewhere safe. Again, you might need your tweezers at this point just to kind of get the little nuts, or the washer, sorry, out. Just like so, if it'll go. It is a bit fiddly, I will give you that. In fact, it's very fiddly, but that's okay. It will come off. Alright, okay. Let's try the other one. Alright, doesn't matter. We'll leave them in there, they don't want to come out. So, right, okay, the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need a Torx screwdriver bit, which I believe should be somewhere around that. Yep. And you're going to want to take these two, there's two screws just in there, just pop those out. Now they can be a little bit tight, just pop them out again, put it somewhere safe. Okay, again that comes out. Again, you're going to need your sort of spludger or your little lever tool again. And what you're going to do is, obviously bearing in mind that our washers have got a bit stuck there, okay, it might be just a little bit, you know, awkward. You're going to want to try and get the spludger tool down this edge really carefully. If it will go, if it doesn't, don't worry about it. Just tiny little bit at a time. Okay, and you'll find that there's actually underneath there's actually like a little slot. And again, there you go, the washers want to fall off now, so do be careful. Underneath there's like a little slot, and you can, like a recess, so now you can actually really sort of get in there and get that up. Okay, now there's a rubber seal that goes around there. You don't want to damage that and you don't want to lose it. Okay, but what you got to do is you've got to slowly lift this up, okay, till it sort of starts to get clear, and then at the same time you want to try and push on these parts until eventually the whole thing just sort of slots away. And at this point it might be a good idea just to try and just take that rubber seal up out of the way like so, and then you should be able to then just start to release it. Now just underneath here you'll see, you don't want to pull it too far, because you'll see there's underneath there, I don't know if you can see that, it's actually a little ribbon cable, and what you do is just take just one end of your tweezers and just pop that up, okay, and then that releases that, and there's your little thing. Now at this point, okay, you want to take the rubber seal completely away, just leave it in the same sort of direction as it went on, so you know, just flip it over, and at this point now you can get at what you need to. And what we're after, okay, is this this ribbon cable here is the trackball cable. This one here, I believe, is the keyboard. Actually, is it? No, that's the actual data for this side port. Okay, so if you get one that's got trouble with data, quite often just reseating, just what you do, just pop that out, give it a clean with some either contact cleaner or whatever on the end of a cotton bud, and away you go. Now the one that gives the screen the trouble is this one. So you just simply pop that little, you can see that little lever. There's I can get it a little closer for you. Got really poor lighting at the moment. It's about 1,000,000 degrees outside, and I've got the curtains pulled, so it's kind of right. You can just see there's a little like a piano type top bit, and it's that you just need to flip up. It doesn't pull out like some, it just levers up. Now at this point what you need to do is very carefully, okay, if you take your tweezers just underneath there, okay, and just pop that up, and you'll see now that, I don't know if you can see that, let's see if we can bring that down just a smidge. Okay, if we do that now, you can see that this little ribbon cable is now flipped up, and you just give that a clean along there with some switch cleaner or isopropyl alcohol, and then quite simply you then have to put that back. Now I say quite simply, it isn't all that easy, because it does have a bit of a mind of its own. You've got to kind of hold the end down and then sort of pull it back with the tweezers, so eventually it'll start to go back in. Now I've actually got I think it's a bit on the whiz, so let me just pull him back. That's better. And now you can see it's just sat back in there, and then all you simply do is just plug that back down. Now one of the other problems that people have with these radios is that they put an aftermarket antenna on, and quite often what that will do is snap this port off, because the original antenna's got a massive great base on it, which gives it quite a lot of support. Now to get that out, to replace it, you need to unscrew, just get those off for a moment because they go on after in a sec. We'll put them somewhere safe. Okay, now to get that off, you'll see there are two screws, one there and one there. You take those screws out and then flip that up the other way, and the actual contact you're after is here. Okay, and what you do is you take a solder sucker and you literally just suck that solder away and make sure it's really clear. Okay, and then this just hinges away and then lifts out. You don't need to take any board out or anything like that at all. It's really easy. Just solder suck that away, undo those two screws, lever it up, and it just comes away. This should fall out. It doesn't need any force at all. If you have to put one back in with any force at all, then there's something wrong. You don't need to do that. Right, okay, now putting this back together is quite simply, he says, just the reverse order. Now obviously the worst bit about this is this rubber seal. Now in the office I've actually got some really foamy sort of soap which I use just to give it some lubrication. Okay, so, and all you simply do is you just pull that across like so. Okay, and then I'm just using some soap, or just foamy soap, just to give that that smidgen of lubrication, and that pops back in. Now at this point you've got to get this ribbon cable back on. Now this is actually quite difficult when you've got fingers the size of mine, so this might just go out of focus and do some crazy things at the moment with the camera, but I'll have to live with it, I'm afraid. Okay, so I'm just going to try and pull that a little tighter. And it goes on with a little click. Okay, and a little bit of just lubrication around that rubber part again. Okay, and then just a little push, and then that whole lot just squeezes back together again. Okay, if it doesn't want to go down, then try it again, just to make sure. Now at this point what I'd say is I would take the battery, okay, and just hold it in place, turn it round, and then try the display. Make sure it actually all works, and it does. So you can see here that it's all back. Okay, just pop the battery off. Now putting it back together again is the complete reverse. Take your screws. Now what I would say is that when these go back in, they don't really, sometimes they only just catch on the thread. So just on the very, you'll see there's like a border here, put your finger on that bit of border and then just give it a little squeeze. You don't want to force the buttons in while you're doing this, and then as you're squeezing, just gently just take the screws up until they just stop. You're not trying to force that shut at all. Okay, and then take one of the other screws. Come on, in you go. These, I never said this would be easy. If you're not very dexterous, then this might be a little bit of a challenge. So just very gently, just while you're squeezing, just take that up. Okay, and you can check the other side as well now that it's tight. Okay, and then that's that bit done. Now the two rubber, the rubber parts, you take that came off of the things there. They simply just drop over the edge, and you can use your de-stuffing tool just to push them in place. And I hope you can see that it's just gone down in place. Okay, and then we take the larger one out the two, and he goes over the antenna. Use the de-stuffing tool again just to push him down into place. Then take your washers. Okay, these are really thin washers and a pain to pick up. You'll notice there's a flat here and there's a flat on the end of the washer there, on the edge of the washer. Okay, and you just simply just locate him, and then if you take the nut, it's very easy to cross thread these with this fine thread. Just reverse it a couple until you feel it sort of click, and then go back the other way. Okay, and that spins down, and again just take the washer again, and there's a flat, and you've got to see a flat there. Take that, you can see where that lines up with that one. Now this one's very easy to cross thread because you can't get at it quite as easy as the other one, and that's where these de-stuffing tools really come in, because you can simply reverse it and keep everything nice and straight. Now again, you don't want to over tighten this stuff, you're just nipping it down. Okay, and that is it. Okay, job done. Push the little knobber back on, switch the radio off, flick the battery on, make sure you haven't damaged it, and then check for operation. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck if you've got a screen that's gone. If it's out of warranty, then by all means give it a go. Don't forget to dislike, like, whatever you like, leave comments, ask questions, whatever. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, right? Really subscribe. I'm getting a lot of subscribers at the moment, and I'm really over the moon. It's just such a big buzz. A few people come in the shop, recognise me from the channel, thanks again, really big buzz, yeah, I'll keep churning the videos out as and when I can. And this heat, like I said, is quite difficult, but anyway, again, thanks for watching. See you next time.